What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, November 6th, 2018. If you're a replay viewer, I'm doing this very spontaneous live stream because Litecoin is just above the 50 EMA on the daily, and I just want to talk about it. So if you're a replay viewer, I'll put a timestamp where we start getting into the little technical analysis, so feel free to go there. However, if you're keen on watching an already recorded video where we're not chatting and I'm not just kind of shooting from the hip here, then you can go to a Bitcoin video that I did earlier. That was a recorded video. And I'm saying that because I get a lot of people, not a lot, but there are some people out there that comment on my live streams, and they're just not happy with it because they're 30 minutes. What's up, Mexican Charlie Lee? What's up, Lisa Rock, Public Awakening, Brian Boyer? What's up, everybody? So, yeah, Ryan, you're right. Can't please everyone. I wanted to do a quick live stream. It's probably not going to be long, but obviously you see Litecoin. I'm very zoomed in. I think I'm all the way zoomed in on the daily chart. You can't even zoom in anymore. But there it is, a daily candle, a red daily candle above the 50 EMA. That's pretty much what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm just giving it a second. Everybody like my new hoodie? Actually, most of you probably don't like it. Hold on and buy more. Everybody's asking, why not HODL? So, Litecoin by December. I'm not even going to go there. RSI still low. 100%. There's still room on the RSI for crazy gains. Especially if you look at the weekly charts, which is really what we care about for those parabolic gains. We care about that weekly RSI. But even on the daily RSI, completely in play. Not to mention MACD. Look at this MACD on Litecoin. Probably should zoom out now. Let me zoom out. So here we go. Look at that MACD cross on Litecoin. So far, very similar to one we had in September, where Litecoin had a nice little burst. And so really what I'm watching right now is, and it's what's cool about this is now that we're above the 50 EMA, and we've been talking about it the whole way up for the last week or so, retesting the 50 EMA. Now that we're there, it becomes fun. It becomes fun because, somebody commented, I think I mentioned it in a video, Poseidon Lou with a 0.18 Litecoin donation. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. It almost didn't come up because I didn't hear the sound. Thanks, Poseidon Lou. Oh, great. Now my LinkedIn is going to go crazy. I didn't close LinkedIn. It's good to see Poseidon Lou is here, my bro. So let's look at Litecoin on the 4-hour, and then we'll talk about the daily. Screw HODL. It's embarrassing. I like hold better. Yes. Roskanuts. Thank you. So we've been talking about this for a while in the daily. And first off, if you look at the daily chart, there's so much going on. I'm sorry, the 4-hour chart. There's so much going on that we can really keep an eye out on Litecoin. And I'm actually just going to chart while I'm doing this video because I didn't prepare for this. I did a quick little tweet. I don't even know what the results were, actually. I probably should check because I wasn't supposed to even go live unless it was above 50%. So let's see. Video today. Here it is, 15 minutes. Okay, good. I put a 15-minute poll out, and I basically said if it's above 50%, I'll go live. So good. That's ridiculous. So 4-hour chart, here we go. I'm just gonna kind of chart a little bit while we're here. There's so much going on the 4-hour chart that we can kind of just track, you know, and we have been tracking. Namely, for one, this falling wedge that we did a video, I think it was yesterday, we did a video on. And within that falling wedge, we also have this inverse head and shoulders. And I'm gonna change the color here just so we can get some diversification. So we have a head and shoulders potentially that we've been tracking. So there's the head. Here's the shoulder, nice little shoulder right shoulder bottom. And then finally, I mean, if you've been watching our videos, you can see that we've been tracking this for a while. And finally, we're like getting some upward momentum in Litecoin in the last few days, right? I mean, when was this bottom? It was October 30th. So it's nice that we have a little bit of a run and we can measure that in terms of price range. Like, what are we accomplishing here? That's not bad, is it? 18%. That's not bad at all. Especially when we were going into that bottom anticipating a possible inverse head and shoulders in play. So it would have proven to be a nice accumulation area down here if you were accumulating, and hopefully some of you were. Not based off of my financial advice, of course, but everybody knows I was. Anytime we're in that $50 range, especially. So Adam says, Dan, you've said you've had areas in the 30 to 40 range to buy much more. Do you have buy ranges for when a breakout is confirmed? And if so, what are those targets? That's a great question, and I will talk about that. I'll talk about that after we kind of finish getting the patterns defined on the screen. But definitely a good question, because I was actually just thinking about that today. Like, it's been very fun accumulating in a bear market in a continued downtrend, and so I pictured a world where we're finally back in a bull market, and I brought myself back to the last bull market, and you know, I put myself back there, and I'm saying, well, how was I accumulating then? And I think myself, and I think many people in technical analysis, I think many of you have gained even more wisdom going through this long-term bear market since the beginning of the year. So I think we'll be even better accumulators in terms of a bull market, because yes, definitely my plan is to accumulate in a bull market. So here we are on Litecoin. We have the inverse head and shoulders possibility. We have the falling wedge with resistance right up here, and this is really the area that I'm just, you know, this could be it. I'm doing this live stream right now because we just got above the 50 EMA on the daily, which is right here. We're above it, and we'll zoom out and look at that in terms of what that means for Litecoin on the daily. But this could be it. I mean, we could get another rejection, you know, and I didn't want to make this, you know, the title of this video, like, we're breaking out, we're going to the moon. I basically said we're above key resistance, and it's true. And the question is, will it hold? Which is really the question that we have. So yes, we are above the 50 EMA. You see that blue line, finally above it on the daily chart. So we'll go to the daily chart in a second, but we can use the 4-hour for reference on where Litecoin is right now. So from that previous swing high to that previous swing low, that was around 27% dip. So this was an awesome buying opportunity, accumulation area. We talked about it a lot on this channel. And then let's get our fib retracement, just in case you're not aware of it. And this is where our resistance area is that we're hoping to at least test 618 to 786 on a Fibonacci. Everybody's probably so sick of me saying that, but too bad. It's my YouTube channel. If you don't like it, get out of here. I'm just kidding. That was messed up. So Fibonacci channel resistance, upper trend line, huge area for Litecoin. It would mean what? Another 10% gains from where we are right now, right? Let's see for reference. We're right around here. Yep, like 8 to 10%. 8 to 10% gains to really test breaking through that channel. So why I'm doing this video is because I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the charts. It's cool to see Litecoin making a little bit of a move in terms of above the 50 EMA on the daily chart here. And I'm thinking, well, what's going to happen if we either see resistance pretty much here, another basic rejection on the 50 EMA, right? Because it's not the first time we got above it for a second. It's just we didn't hold above it. We fell below, and that happened many times in the last 10 months. So what if we get rejection here, and then what if we get rejection at the top of this area? It's probably the most boring question to ask. It's probably the most bearish question to ask. It's probably the most depressing question to ask, is if we get that rejection. Steven Herzog says, Dan, do we have to stay above it for 48 hours to actually trust it? I mean, it really depends. It depends how you like to do your TA. It depends how you like to look at the markets. I need it to be above it for more than 48 hours, personally. So, and we'll get into that when we go over to the daily chart. So these questions of what if we bounce off of, this is exactly why I do technical analysis. It is to be prepared for these what ifs. Because if we see resistance at this area and we come back down and we actually test like this whole channel down here for a fourth time, it could get very ugly. And it could potentially be the doorway of walking into the final stage of the bear market. And we can see some pretty messy capitulation in a situation like that. And so this scenario that you see on the screen isn't something I'm going to do this video on, but I just want you to know when I'm doing my technical analysis, this is literally probably the main reason why I do technical analysis is I'm seeing this in my mind. I'm seeing resistance here, and I'm seeing us coming back down to test this area and potential, short-term supports, and then potential, capitulation of some sort for the final bottom for Litecoin. That's how my mind works. And I think it's probably a good thing for me, because if it didn't work like that, I'm very spontaneous. I'd probably be a FOMO king. So now that we got that bearish scenario out of the way, let's talk about what's actually going on right now. Which is you have other altcoins moving, obviously. Bitcoin hasn't done anything tremendous, hasn't done anything crazy. We're kind of like stuck at that $6,500 area. And the good news is, though, we just did a video earlier and where were we? We were right down here. And this is the 4-hour chart. So we were actually in this red 4-hour candle, and we were just above this upper trend line that's going down, and we talked about it. We literally, in that video, I drew a candle right through this upper trend line. And we basically talked about that's the first step, getting out of this upward wedge. It's the first step in truly testing Bitcoin true resistance, which is up here, the $7,100 to $6,900 Fibonacci channel, also the long-term upper trend line, also the 200 EMA. So in terms of how far we are from that happening for Bitcoin, look at that. We're around 7 to 9%. So it's that synergistic resistance that we talked about yesterday in terms of Bitcoin and Litecoin. They're both around 7 to 10% away from testing very key resistance. So for Litecoin, it's obviously clear it's up in this area. And so let's go over to Litecoin daily chart. And what daily chart do I want to go to? Somebody wants to see Bcash MACD. So here's the daily chart on Litecoin. And I want to, all right, here's the daily chart I want to be on. So here's the daily chart on Litecoin from where we are right now. And I'm going to zoom back out a little bit. Jeremy says it's not going under 48, dude. I hope you're right, Jeremy. I hope you're right, man. I don't want it to go under 48. I do want to put these. Jeremy, I don't want it to go under 48. I want us to go to 1,000. But don't miss the boat if it goes under 48. So zoomed out on the daily chart, we can see it, right? 50 EMA rejection. This, we didn't even touch the 50 EMA on this little bounce up, right? We didn't even touch it, but we can still call it somewhat of a rejection. And then we have rejection, and then we have rejection, and then we have rejection, and then we have rejection. And even here, I think I remember even doing a video on it when we were here, getting above the 50 EMA. And I was like, hey, it's similar to right now, the situation that we're in. I'm doing a video because we're above the 50 EMA on Litecoin in this continued downtrend. And you can see it didn't hold. And from that area, from that bullish, you were happy, I was happy, the markets were happy. Litecoin was above the 50 EMA. We're at $62. Maybe we formed the bottom. And then from that top, we actually came down another 28%. So, you know, that's why you always have to keep it in your mind, whether it's the top here or the top even up here, coming down another 28% would bring us to the bottom of this wedge, which would be in the $40 range. So you have to be careful. Like, this is literally the move of Litecoin, of Bitcoin. That could totally happen, and it would be perfectly expected, because look at the pattern that we're in right now. And these patterns move in very nice harmony with each other, right? So here we had a rising wedge that broke on the downside. And now here we are in a very large falling wedge that hopefully will break on the upside. But time will tell. You have to be ready either way. So Drew Blood 21 says continue to buy. Continue to buy. Long term is key. Drew Blood, you like my shirt, dude? This was yours, man. This was like inspired by you. Everybody thank Drew Blood, because the shirt is sick. Okay, so daily chart. We're talking about 50 EMA rejection over and over and over again. And I want to go back, and I'm gonna get to the point here. Talking about the 50 EMA rejection is, it could be the 50 EMA could be a great indicator for us in terms of getting an idea of when we're actually turning around in the market. So the last time we were actually like above the 50 EMA and climbing was back here in May. And you can see we weren't even above the 50 EMA for a week. And it just turned into a new lower high in this continued downtrend. So one thing that's important for me personally in like defining the bottom would definitely be not only getting above the 50 EMA and staying above it, but actually breaking previous lower highs, right? So conservatively, I'm talking like right here, $94. That would be a great lower high to break in terms of defining the end of the bear market. However, even just breaking, $70 right here, that lower high that began this falling wedge, that is a promising area. If we can right now climb up to $70 and stay above that and see support there. And that kind of answers Stephen Herzog's question, which is, Dan, how, is it 48 hours? Do you need it to be above 48 hours? Some people might. Some people might feel comfortable with Litecoin trading above the 50 EMA, that huge area of resistance for 48 hours, and they might say to themselves, hey, we're looking good. But just, you can look at Litecoin in a bear market. Even when it trades above the 50 EMA, it doesn't mean like you're really out of the woods. It doesn't mean that momentum has shifted. It's a short-term bounce, and you can see it on the charts. So in this downtrend, you can see Litecoin traded 1, 2, 3, 4 green days above the 50 EMA before really going down and really breaking that $150 area for the last time, right here. So just because it traded above the 50 EMA for more than 48 hours or for even more than a few days didn't mean we were out of this bear market, although we were truly hoping so. And similarly, we had an awesome bounce out of this capitulation phase right here that happened right through the 50 EMA. But you can see we just didn't have the momentum. The market wasn't ready yet for a reversal out of this pullback. It wasn't even near ready because we were just entering the bear market right here. And then from there, we've gotten just slow consolidation, and it's just, you can see it slowed down. We flattened out a lot at the bottom, which is a great sign. And the 50 EMA has just proven to be kind of like that huge area of resistance. So, Stephen, thank you for that. That was a good question. And it plays into some, I forget who asked the question, but when do I look to accumulate in a bull market as well? And I'm going to get to that in a second. But before I do want to talk about Litecoin on the daily chart to kind of give a glimpse of what we're looking for, at least what I'm looking for. So here we go. The last bear market, right? We had that all-time high up here around $50, and then we came down crazy, right? And we actually bounced back up after that capitulation phase above the 50 EMA. And it's crazy how similar that whole area is to really like this kind of move that Litecoin had. So once that happened, that was basically, that was the last time we were, that was the last time we were above the 50. And this is the bear market, by the way. This was the bear market that's the chart I'm in. So like right here is 2013. That was the last time Litecoin was above the 50 EMA before this bear market. And look what happened at that 50 EMA. Just constant rejection, right? Constant rejection. And so we finally got to the bottom. We had more rejection. Right here we traded above, and here's another good example. We traded above, I don't know if you can see it. We traded above the 50 EMA on Litecoin for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like a week. And I wasn't doing technical analysis on Litecoin back then. However, I bet you people that were probably like, are we going to see support above the 50 EMA here? And that was a huge, that was a huge area of resistance this whole way down the bear market. So to be above it here in March of 2015, people were probably hype. They were probably like, get ready, the bull market has arrived. But you can see this daily red candle, very ugly, boom, right back into the bear market. So we can't get too excited just because on the short term, like right now, Litecoin is above the 50 EMA, and it's not even like we aggressively went above it. Like we have this little dinky red daily candle in formation right now that's above it, right? Nothing has happened yet, but it is at least a first step towards what we really want, which is this. And this is the exit. This is what an exit looks like out of a bear market. Essentially, it is a break above the 50 EMA. In this case, this was a very nice break. I don't know what that candle is, but that's a pretty large daily candle. Let's just get an idea, because that was a good day. So that was like a 24% day for Litecoin. I'm not saying we need something like that, but we got a nice break above the daily. And then what happened is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like a week and a half later, we got a nice little break down. But what happened was we had support. We had support at the 50 EMA. And that was like, to have something like that at the end of a bear market is a huge indicator. Is a huge indicator that, we might be going somewhere. We might be exiting this bear market. And so in May to June of 2019, you can see what happened. We did exit. I shouldn't say we, because I wasn't invested in Litecoin, although I wish I was. We did. So in a month and a half out of that bear market, we cruised up around 470%. And it all started with this huge indicator of this 50 EMA, which was just like an enemy to Litecoin through the whole bear market. And similarly, it's an enemy to Litecoin in this whole bear market. So it's probably our best, most conservative indicator, and it's not rocket science, right? Well, I'm not even drawing lines all over the screen. It's a 50 EMA, and it paints a good picture of what Litecoin needs to do in terms of turning around in this market. And when it does paint that picture, it's a nice indicator for you to, I don't want to say accumulate more, but just, get ready for a possible move out of the bear market. That's all. So shout out to Christopher Park. Rob, we have Rob from the LTC East Coast team. Also, Litecoin Lottery is in the house. He says volume is low because everything is over the counter right now. Retail investors aren't buying right now. They'll buy into the FOMO. So yes, that's Litecoin on the daily. First step is complete, right? I mean, first step is complete. It's so stupid. Look how small this little candle is. And so I just want to see what happens. And it's fun to be able to watch this now. And we can really, right now the 50 EMA in terms of where it is right at around 54.84 to 55. So let's see what happens even through the night. I wonder if we'll even stay above it. What's really cool is if you even look at if you zoom in on the 50 EMA, you can see a slight, come on. You can see a slight little leveling out and then an increase up, a move up in terms of the 50 EMA turning around. And then in terms of Litecoin on the MACD, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here in terms of momentum continuing or not. And then Litecoin, I don't have a weekly chart open, so I will open a weekly chart. I mean, if this were the bottom for Litecoin, it would be a pretty picture perfect bottom. It would be the type of bottom that people look back and they're like, why was I waiting for Litecoin to go lower? That doesn't even make any sense. That's exactly the type of bottom it's going to be. So this is potentially, if it were the bottom, what it would look like type of deal. So when people are in, 2020, wherever the price is of Litecoin, for some of you out there, I'll put it up here at $1,200 just to make you happy. You're going to look back and you're going to say, wow, what was I doing? I was cheap. I was greedy. I was waiting for $20. So whether we go lower or not, obviously, my opinion is it's a great accumulation area right now, and time will tell what happens. Bitcoin, same thing. Bitcoin just broke above its short-term resistance, similar to Litecoin, and here it is. We did a video. We were below this trend line. So from afternoon to now, 10:30 Eastern, both Bitcoin and Litecoin have broken key areas of resistance on the short term. So really the best thing we could all look out for going into tonight and into tomorrow is it going to stay above it, right? So is Bitcoin going to stay above this upward trend line in this rising wedge and continue up to test this long-term upper trend line? And also, is Litecoin going to continue up this trend that it's in and test its key resistance area? Both around 7 to 10% away. 7 to 10% away. So keep your eye out when you open your TradingView app or whatever app you use. Keep an eye out for green. Keep an eye out for those 7 to 10% numbers, because if we get there, we're going to be testing some crazy resistance. And if we break that resistance, man, that's going to be fun. That will be a fun live stream. I will say today I bought a good amount of Digibyte. And that's probably really random because I often, most of the time actually, don't really talk about any other altcoins besides Bitcoin and Litecoin. However, just looking at digibytes, just looking at the market as a whole, I always say, and a lot of the digibyte people, I actually was going to start covering digibyte more for trading, but I just didn't because it just ruffled the feathers of digibyte people. And I was like, forget that. I'm not even going to go there. When I say I like digibyte because I like it for trading, people were freaking out. Like I was talking trash on their mom. Does everybody know what I'm saying? So I didn't go there, but I will say I accumulated some digibyte today. Because look at it. I mean, I don't even care. I don't care. Anytime I accumulate right now, I don't care if the market continues going down. I'll just buy more if it goes down, right? Like so, like if we break this bottom trend line in digibyte that we have here, if we actually break and go down, I don't care. I'll average in and buy more. But what I tell myself is this is just a great price in the long term. I think in the next bull run, I think digibyte will break recent all-time highs that we had last year. So if I'm spending money that I can afford to lose, and I'm okay with losing, and we're 11 months in, 10 months in, or whatever it is, to a bear market, and the chart looks the way it does, why would I not? Why would I not take a little bit of a risk right now with where we are for potentially 600% gains upon arrival of the next bull market? I don't know. I mean, that's how I question myself when I'm accumulating and when I'm trading. So yes, I bought a good amount of digibyte today. So now that I said that, watch digibyte goes down 20%. Like I said, I don't care. I don't think it will. And that's definitely not financial advice. So when Ramen says risk reward worth it for digibyte, I couldn't agree more. It's exactly, I mean, that's a perfect way to say what I just said in just a few short words. It's just a great risk reward. And I think everything is a great risk reward, actually. Even Bitcoin is, Litecoin is. And so that's kind of where my head's at right now. Let's see what happens. I gotta say, like when I started this video, we were like 55. Litecoin was at like $55.80 or something. I'm trying to find a Litecoin daily chart. Here we go. Right, so Litecoin's like 55. I'm like, come on. And it actually whipped up to 56. I didn't see that happen, but it did. But I would have loved if, like, while I was doing this live stream, if Litecoin was just to like come up here, just go crazy for a second and test that upper trend line. That's really all I want in the general scheme of things. I just want to test key resistance. So I was hoping it would happen during a live stream because it never happens. And you all know we've been through, whether live streams or recorded videos, we've been through just a constant downtrend, constant rejection. Constant rejection. The lines are green that I'm drawing, but it's just been rejection. It hasn't really been green for Litecoin. So those are my thoughts in terms of Litecoin right now, trading above the 50 EMA. It's pretty cool to see because now we have something to watch. The question is, the key question is, will Litecoin continue to trade above the 50 EMA on the daily chart? And if it does come back down a little bit, is it going to see support at the 50 EMA? Huge area to watch right now for Litecoin. If you're keen on finding the bottom, this is the best thing to watch for. So we've been covering Litecoin all year long, and we've certainly been covering it since down here at its triple bottom area and anticipating a run up to the 50 EMA. We got the run up. Now let's see what happens. So those are my thoughts for Litecoin. Drew Blood 21 says nobody's selling. I wonder if people are selling. Kevin Carroll says bought 9 more Litecoin this week. Hodl. Matt Williams says, I'm right there with you. I've become immune to the downtrend over the last year. I'm just so confident long term. Stephen Herzog, thank you. Have a blessed evening. Catch up tomorrow. Be well. You too, Stephen. It was awesome seeing you, man. Thank you for coming by. Script Skynet. Oh, it will, Dan. Just wait. Lisa Rock, we have a stack of mined digibytes. Carlos Garza, buy now or wait. Carlos, I can't give financial advice, dude. Carlos, I can't do it. I'm buying. I'm always accumulating, if that helps. Stinking Poseidon Lou with a $9.99 super chat. Thanks, dude. You already sent 0.18 Litecoin. What are you doing, man? Oh, man. You guys, so everybody out there, many of you probably know Poseidon Lou has like, he's a super chat like rock star, always helping out. When I went to California, he took a bunch of us out to dinner and he didn't even let me pay. I ran to the bathroom real quick and Poseidon Lou had the thing paid by the time I got back. That's Poseidon Lou for you. That speaks a lot to Poseidon Lou. The guy's crazy, and he's so generous, and he's so awesome. Speaking of that super chats and whatnot, we were in touch with the ministry down in Philadelphia that we're going to be donating to, and we're going to be writing the first check. Inspired truly by you guys and really funded by this YouTube channel. We're going to be writing the first check in the next couple of weeks, and me and Sarah are going to try and deliver it and get down there right into Kensington, Philadelphia, helping inner city youth, getting kids off the streets, teaching them the box, putting them in school. So we're going to be doing our first donation from the Launchpad Foundation, which I'm really excited for. And I'm really excited that we managed to do this in a bear market, right? When the markets are down. And so everybody out there, super chatters, even just subscribers, everybody just watching and chilling and hanging out, thank you. Thank you for helping us grow the channel, because it's a cool thing to be able to give back to something that me and Sarah are passionate about. So that's that. And then I do want to do a quick little shout out real quick, because I'm impressed. What can I say? I'm impressed by this fella. So I tweeted yesterday. Look, I have so many tabs open. My screen is frozen. Ain't that just great? Thanks for the subscribes. Whoever's subscribing right now while my screen is frozen. So I tweeted yesterday, and it was here we go. A subscriber. Nope, that's not the tweet. I said a subscriber of mine wrote a book on the blockchain revolution and just put it up on Amazon. Would be awesome if you could show some love. I like how he describes it on the Amazon page. He says, what if I told you that you are early to the next big technological revolution? So there's a link. If anybody wants to go out and support a subscriber, I shouted him out just because he messaged me a while ago that he was going to start working on a book. And, I replied on email and I was just like, dude, that's awesome. Let me know when it's done. And it's not like, writing a book isn't the easiest thing, especially when you don't know how it will do when posted on something like Amazon. And he wrote a book and he did a good job. So I feel like I just really wanted to give him a shout out. And here he is. I'm pretty sure this is Brandon. There's Brandon Matthew. And he's the one that wrote the book. So you can, if you're on Twitter, you can look him up, go give him some support, but go check out the book as well. Pretty cool that he did that. And I think I can even open. Nope, I closed it already. But there's a link in the chat. Go support him. And yeah, this is actually the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I was gonna get off the live stream, and I still am, but there it is. There it is. Here's Amazon. Look at Amazon. Look at Amazon on the weekly. What is that from that high? Wow, almost 30% since August. Down 30% since August. And they say crypto's volatile. Come on. They say crypto's volatile. Look at the opportunity right now. That's all I'm going to leave you with. That's all I'm going to leave you with. That's not financial advice. Those are just my thoughts on this Tuesday evening. Time for me to leave. Appreciate everybody for coming by. You guys are awesome. Last second live stream. You make it very enjoyable for me. You really do. I hope I can do the same for you. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button on the way out. Hit that like button on the way out. It means a lot to me. I will see you all in the next video. Have an awesome night, and God bless.